Welcome back to Scale Auto Guys Workbench. Today we're working on the AMT 1992 Chevy Silverado. This is the C1500 Fleetside short bed kit. There has been some talk about this possibly being another version of the former SS454 truck. That might be possible, only this is the easy build version. And usually when it's easy build or Craftsman series, that means it doesn't come with an engine. And looking at the back of the box, this truck has 43 parts. And here's your engine insert. So yes, it does not come with an engine. But that doesn't mean that you can't put one in there, because it does give you that engine insert. That means there's a hole in the chassis for that. And looking at the chassis, here's that hole, and here's the insert. So that means if you have an engine or you want to purchase an engine, you can, and you can put it right in there. So that's the first parts tree. Next is your interior. This is a nice looking dash. It's got a lot of detail in there. So that should be nice to put together. Next up is your hood and tailgate. And it does have underhood detail, so that's not just blank. I hate when they have ejector pin marks though. That's something I'm going to have to grind out, I guess. Or just leave. I don't know. Let's take a look at the body. It is indeed a short bed pickup, but it does have the open hood, of course, obvious. So you can put an engine in there if you want. Next up is your chrome tree. Now, something that's unique with this kit that did not come on the SS454 is, and that is, the SS454 had the headlights molded into the grille. This just has like headlight backs on them, or on it. Man, I can't even talk today. So you have two different style of wheels. And speaking of wheels, here's your tires. They're semi-hollows. They don't have any branding. You got a decent, truck tire kind of tread pattern. You also have two metal axles. Here's your clear parts tree. And here's those lenses that go over your headlights and your taillights. Of course, windshield and the back glass. It has the faux slider window in it. Next up is your decal sheet. This has your Chevrolet emblems for the tailgate, your dash decals, and your choice of sport emblems for the side of the bed in the back. A couple Chevy emblems for the grill and the tailgate. A bunch of 1500 decals too, in red, silver, and white. So that's the decal sheet. The instruction sheet is just one page, front and back, 5 total steps. So this should be, like the box says, an easy build. But I'm going to add a couple of extra steps to this, because I was able to track down on eBay a 350 Chevy engine that I'm going to be building and putting in this truck. So I got all the chrome parts, everything I need to put this engine together and drop it in the engine bay. So I'm going to leave everything in there until I'm ready, because I don't want to lose any of those parts. Alright, let's get started on this. It doesn't look like I'm going to have to do any cleanup at all on that body, or any of the other parts for that matter. So let's get over to the paint booth. Let's get some primer laid down. I still haven't decided on what color I want to go with this truck. gonna have to think on that one and make a choice. I got a plethora of paint here, so I just have to choose and shoot. All right, guys, let's get started. Alright fellas, one thing I've noticed, I did a little test fit of everything even before I've gotten the engine fully together. When you place the engine, that I got anyway, you place that in here, it fits down okay, fits down in that little spot okay. But when you look at the way the excuse me, got it backwards. When you look at how this is shaped, this is flat and square. It's not concave. So it doesn't, when you put the seat tub, the interior tub, and you line it up on the little pin back here, and you, okay, come on. There we go. You notice that the floor doesn't sit flat on the chassis. So if you grind out the floor, you're going to grind right through, and then you're going to have a big hole inside your interior tub. So what I'm proposing to do is grind out this cross member so that transmission will sit down in there a little more at a downward angle. And down here, lower this part. It might just be this little pin, or I may have to actually go right into the cross member down here. I'm going to try removing that pin first. I don't see on here anything that goes on that pin. Definitely not the body, and there's no hole on the interior tub that goes over that pin. So in my opinion, the pin doesn't do anything structurally. So I'm going to take my Dremel here. I'm going to grind out that pin. And if I have to, I'll grind into that cross member just a little bit. So let's go ahead and get this thing started up. Going to be kind of loud here. Let's grind off that pin. Let's see how it sits. Okay, the pin's gone. Let me clean that up just a smidge. Get out my X-Acto knife. Let's clean up some of that melted plastic. This thing melts more plastic than it actually sands. Okay, so now let's test fit that engine and transmission. It does sit in there a little lower, but I don't think that I got it low enough. Nope, it's going to have to go down just a little bit more. I'm showing you this just in case you want to put an engine in this. You don't have to do all of this work. Obviously, you could go with the little insert, and I think that's what that pin was for the insert, now that I think about it. So let me grind in. Well, where is that little... Yeah, there it is. Let's take a look. Yep, that's where that pin goes in that insert, because you have two pins up here, up in the front here, that go here, and this sits in here like this. So that pin was for this part of the insert. So if you're going to use the insert, don't grind the pin out, obviously. Only grind that pin out and the cross member out if you're going to be putting an engine in. So let's take off a little bit more. We're going to take it out a little bit at a time until we get this to sit in here correctly. Okay, let's give that, oops, sorry about that. Let's give that a try. I have this camera on a mount like right in my face, so sometimes I accidentally hit the mount that it's on, and it's very bouncy. I need to bring that over a little bit. Okay, let's go. Come on, get in there. There we go. Nope, still got to come down just a little bit more. Now I did try to test fit the body over top of this with the interior tub in, and there was no way that body was going to go on. The interior tub did not allow for that. It did not have the room to do it. So yeah, I need to grind off a little bit more on this side. Alright, let's try that. This is all trial and error with this kit. When I did the 63 Nova wagon, the engine that I got was actually for that 63 Nova wagon, and I didn't have to modify anything to fit that in. However, this is a little bit different. Okay. Let's give that a try. Now this pin doesn't, it's hard to get it lined up. There it goes. Okay, still got a little bit more to go, just a smidge, not much more. And as you can see, if you look at that, there's still quite a bit to go yet. So you don't have to worry about removing too much. I mean, don't go hog wild on it or anything, but okay. Let's give that a try. And this is a little bit tight in here for that transmission pan, so kind of have to go in at an angle. Once you do that, it fits right in there. And I wouldn't want to cut any of that out. Nope, still just a little bit more to go. You want to just do this in baby steps, because if you just go crazy on it, then you'll remove too much material. And this, I have this tool set on the lowest setting, the lowest setting, and it still melts this plastic. I wish I could dial it down just a little bit slower. That way there, you know, I'm not melting the plastic. I'm actually grinding it out. But this particular tool, it's, well, almost there. Almost there. Let me see. Is there anything? Well, it has this pin here. Maybe I can just shave that off. I don't know that that's causing any issues, but it doesn't really serve a purpose in this application. Maybe in its original application for whatever vehicle it came from, it might have a purpose in that. I did want to get an LS engine for this because it would have been more fitting, but everybody was selling their LS engines at, you know, twice the price. Yep, just a smidge more. Just maybe, I don't know, I'm almost down flush to the bottom of that cross member. Maybe I'll just take it all the way down, and that should, I don't want to do that much, but I'm down flush to the bottom of that cross member now. I don't want to remove any more material, so this is it. This is where it's going to have to be. If I have to grind anything else, if I have to do anything more, I'm going to have to take it off the top of the transmission, because I don't want to grind through that cross member. That's down as far as I can really safely go with it. And I've really dramatically changed the angle of that engine sitting in that bay. So Let's get this back in place. And look at that. Look at that. It sits flush. Well, almost flush. It's not totally, but it's close enough. So, if you're going to put an engine and transmission in that's like this one, you're going to want to grind out that front half of that cross member. And I should kind of even it up. It looks a little odd. So let me grind out just the side of it here a little bit so it's an open area. With the engine and transmission in there, that's what it looks like from the bottom. And of course, you know, I have to glue it as close to center line as I can get it. Right there. And well, even still, well, no, it's, yeah, that's about it right there. So let's go ahead and get the engine finished up. I'm going to have to make a crossover pipe for the exhaust to come over here, and I'm gonna probably try to do that out of some solder. I do have some solder around here, and solder is a good candidate to do that with because it's malleable. It's, you know, you can bend it around and, you know, make it do different shapes and things like that pretty easily. So let's get on to finishing up the engine, and then we can move on with this build. All right, fellas, I just kind of have this kind of thrown together. I put the chassis and everything in there just to see how that engine would sit in there, and grinding out that cross member works well. So remember, if you're going to use that style of an engine in your build, you're going to have to dig out that cross member a little bit. As you can see, everything is down where it's supposed to be, and that engine has plenty of room in there. It's to move around and stuff, so it's not bound in there in any way. So there you go. I would show you under the hood, but I have that hood taped down because I need to shoot another coat of paint on this body. I had a couple of bad spots I had to fix, and the paint is a little blotchy. So I want to put a second coat on there, try to even things up. So let's finish up this engine, and then I'll see you at the paint booth. I'm going to put another coat of paint on this, and I'll be right back. Alright fellas, here's the finished dashboard. I did have a little bit of trouble, just a little bit, getting that speedometer decal back into that hole. It wanted to stick to the top and I had a heck of a time getting it down, but I finally got it into place. There's the finished dash. Now, something that this kit does not come with, and it doesn't have a provision for it either. As you can see, the floor is just blank. I snagged this gear shift out of another kit, and so I'm going to install this in this truck just because. So what you're going to need is, let me dig this out. What you're going to need is a pin drill, or I could just trim the little bump off the bottom and just glue it straight to the floor. You know what? I think that's what I'll do. I don't need to drill any holes. I just need to cut that little nip off the bottom there, and then I'll just glue this straight to the floor. As you can see, I also added seat belts from another kit, and I thought that would be a nice touch. I'm going to sand this flat. There we go. Let me get the dashboard in place first. Well, no. Let me get this put in place first. Just a little dab of glue. Come on. There we go. Just a little bit. I'm going to guess right about here. Oh, it slid over on me. There we go. Now I know it has just the gas pedal and brake pedal in there, and that's fine. This can still be an automatic with this stick in there. Whatever. I forgot to paint these black when I had my black paint out just a little bit ago. That's alright. The Sharpie works just fine. There we go. Now I can go ahead and push the dash in here, because you can see, there we go, that the steering column does not have a gear shift lever on it. So I figured adding the stick shift into the interior tub kind of give it that, you know, finished look, especially with the seat belts. So there we go. All right, got to finish up that engine. I've got it about 99.9% complete. I still have to put the distributor in, and not only am I going to have to build exhaust pipes going down, you know, coming from here down to the single exhaust on the chassis, but I'm also going to have to do radiator hoses and maybe even a radiator. I was looking at that body, and you can see where I have it taped in there. There's not much up here as far as radiator goes. Oops, let me get that in view here. There's not much up here as far as radiator goes, or a radiator support wall. So I may have to build all of that. I'm going to do that after I get this all done and see how that's going to go together. Let's get over to the paint booth and let's get that second coat of paint put down on this body, and we'll have to let that set for a little bit and gas out, and then it'll be time to put the glass in and do the final assemblies. So let's get over to the paint booth. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, fellas, I told you I needed to make exhaust pipes and radiator hose, and my fallback, my go-to is this wire. Now, I'm not sure what gauge this is. I forgot what gauge this is actually. I bought it many years ago. I've got quite a few feet of it. So what I've done already is I've cut two pieces. Now this piece here I bent in a way that it will fit down in here to the exhaust manifold and to the exhaust pipe. Now I'm not going to leave this blue, obviously. I'm going to paint it, but this one here I bent in a way that it'll go to the exhaust manifold around the front side of the oil pan, between the oil pan and the cross member, and it is going to meet, and it kind of relaxed a little bit, it's going to meet the other pipe, yeah, the other pipe that's coming up off of that manifold. So it's going to interconnect right in this general area, and then be a single pipe back to the existing exhaust pipe. So let me get these painted, and once I get them painted, and I'm still going to have to trim a little bit off of this. It's just a touch too long, but I'm going to have to play around with that and get that measured out right and put together. Then I'm going to get some paint on it, and that should work for the exhaust system. I'm going to use similar gauge wire here, the similar wire, to do the upper radiator hose and maybe a lower radiator hose. I'm not sure about that because there isn't a radiator. So I'll get started on that. Alright fellas, guess what time it is? It's bare metal foil time. But this time, because this is a 1992 edition of the truck, we're not going to be doing the chrome foil. We're going to be doing the black chrome foil. Now this is first time using the black chrome. I bought this sheet a while back, and this is the first modern vehicle, I guess you could say, that I've had an opportunity to try it on. So I've had this sheet in storage for a while, and you can tell it's wrinkled, but I'm going to give it a try. Looking at images of this particular model year truck on the internet, this stripe here is black, but it also has a chrome accent, and it goes up around the wheel well. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a chrome stripe and either paint it black or maybe add an additional black stripe to the bottom section of it. I'm definitely going to do black around the windows, front, rear, and side with this black chrome. Yes, I could take a Sharpie or something like that and then just paint it in, but I don't really want to do that. I've got this black chrome. I've had this for years. It may not even stick. I don't know. But this is my really first opportunity to actually try to use it. So why not try to use it? So let's get started on this. Well, this doesn't even stick to my hand hardly. I mean, it's like there's no glue backing on that at all. Let me, I don't know about this. Let me try another stripe a little bit further in. Maybe that edge is just kind of dried out. Funny that it's stuck to the paper, but it won't stick to much anything else. So let's try another stripe a little further in. It could be from age, it just dried out on that edge. Cut another strip there. I did find it interesting that it was actually chrome underneath. So this is actually the chrome foil, only it's been painted or tinted so that it's black. See, now it seems like it's sticking to the paper really well. Let's try that. Come on now, don't twist up on me. Hate when it twists up. My fingers are so fat I can't get in there. There we go. Yes, that feels a lot more sticky. It's actually sticking to my fingers really well now. Alright, let's see. Get in there. Yeah, there it is. That's sticking down really nice now. Oh, I spoke too soon. Can I get it to bend around there? Now I attached the bed before I painted, And because it was hard to get it to stay on my paint stand, the individual pieces. So I glued the bed to the back of the cab. I didn't anticipate. That's driving me crazy. There we go. I didn't anticipate the difficulties that I might encounter doing the windows. There we go. Well, oops, didn't mean to bump the camera. Trying to get it to focus there. It's hard to really tell, but the black chrome is there. It's doing its intended job, I guess you could say. Let's get this window finished up and I'll be right back with you. Alright fellas, I got all of the foil work done based on some reference images that I looked at on the internet. The moldings and things on the side of the vehicle wasn't just black. I thought they were just black, but based on all of the photos that I saw, they were black and chrome. So not only did I use the black chrome, but I also got out the regular chrome. So I did a two-tone on the body side moldings and chrome along the wheel arches. I did the black chrome around the windows, and I installed the windows while I was at it. I did black chrome on the bed rails, and I put chrome across the tailgate so that you had a chrome tailgate protector, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. So all of the windows are in. Everything's all set to go. Just do some final assemblies. I got to do the grille and bumpers yet. And once that's all done, I'll see you at the final. Alright fellas, I've got a lot of the stuff put together. I got the chassis in place. I've got most of the foil done. Well, I should say I have all of the foil done. I even did the black foil on the bumpers. That's the rear bumper there. And, ooh, what's that? There it is. And the front bumper. That black foil works out really nice. I really do like that. I wish I would have more opportunity to use it. But until I start building more modern cars, well, I'm just stuck with that sitting on the shelf, I guess. It's time to go ahead and start putting the decals on and doing the final assemblies. Ooh, I thought that was in there. This just pops into a couple of pins there. I didn't snap it shut there. There we go. As you can see, the engine fits in there beautifully. So if you decide to build this truck and you want to go this route, that engine will fit. And I did finish up the exhaust pipe system there while you weren't looking. I do a lot of that, I guess. But yeah, that's how you do the crossover pipe. I just used those two pieces of wire, and that worked out well. Don't like how the exhaust pipe goes in there. If this was a one-to-one vehicle, that would be blasting against the sidewall. Oh well. So yeah, I don't like the way that sits. It doesn't sit quite right. The body lines match up, but it's pulled away up here. So kind of the bed kind of at an angle. It's not flat. Okay. So let's get on with the decals and then the final assemblies. Here's the hood. I got that all painted up and ready to go. That fits right on in there. I did the panel line blackout of the grille. So, okay, let's get started on these decals. Welcome back to the final on this easy build 1992 Chevrolet Silverado C1500 Fleetside short bed pickup by AMT. Wow, that's a mouthful. This truck, it was as easy to build as AMT advertised it was. Everything went together with zero issues. As I had shown in the video, I added that 350 Chevy engine and transmission to this truck because, after all, every car kit should come with an engine and transmission. That's my opinion. It was a fairly simple task to install that engine, as I showed in the video. You just had to grind away that cross member a little bit, and with a little test fitting, everything went together all right. I did this, of course, with the help from eBay. You know, I found the engine on eBay. It was fairly inexpensive. I think I paid $9 for it or something like that, $8, something like that. And of course, that little spool of wire in there that I keep around for just kind of those kind of things, where, you know, doing the exhaust and upper and lower radiator hoses, etc. Now, the only twist on putting that engine into this truck was there is no radiator, and I looked through all my parts boxes and I could not come up with one. So that's something that if you're really trying to put it in and make it look totally 100% right, you may have to seek out a radiator for the build. I did not have one, so I didn't put one in, but I did put the upper radiator hose in there to just kind of finish the look, so to speak. I like using that wire because it retains its shape after it's been bent. I've heard other folks have used soldering wire, and that works, but with this wire, the insulation is there, and it retains the paint, and it retains its shape once it's bent that way. Now, the soldering wire would do the same thing, but with soldering wire, you're handling bare lead wire. Some of you don't care about that. Others do. That stuff is toxic. You know, if you're one to, you know, use it and get up and go wash your hands right away, that's cool. You know, you do you. But I like the insulation on that. Like I said, it retains the shape, it retains the paint, and it's just coarse enough that it kind of gives it a little hint of reality, I guess, if you could see that. I don't know. The paint, well, the paint went down perfectly, as well as the future floor polish. I would have liked to have gotten it a little bit shinier, but I think it turned out pretty well as it was. The decals were excellent, with one exception. If you're planning to buy this and build this for your own collection, I would have to say that the small Chevy emblems that go into the center of the wheels, well, they're kind of a waste of time. They don't like to lay down on those center caps on those wheels because it has a little ridge in that center cap. And even with the decal setting solution, I could not get those to lay down on, over top of that little ridge, and they just fell off. So I said, well, forget it. So even with them missing, the wheels still look great, and actually I don't really miss them a bit. As you can see, I added a simulated bed rail with the black chrome foil and a tailgate protector with the chrome foil. This is the first time using the black chrome foil, as well as using foil in a two-tone fashion. So I did use the chrome and the black together, and I think it kind of gives it a little kick. It bumps it up to the next level. So taking a plain easy build truck kit and giving it some flair, that's kind of what I did there. Sure, I could have painted that, but I don't think that I would have gotten the same effect, to be honest. The black chrome and the chrome, silver chrome, work well together. They really work well together on this truck. So, I took this plain, easy build truck and, like I said, gave it some flair. Just like the 1980 Camaro kit that I have in my video collection here. I built that a while back, and I got a lot of thumbs downs on that thing. I don't think it was because my build technique. A lot of people don't like that car kit, and I can understand it because it's got oversized plastic tires and undersized wheels that go with it, and the engine is kind of molded into the body and things. It's really kind of a goofy kit. But if you do just a little bit of stuff, you can actually make it look passable. It kind of looks good, but it only takes just a little bit of effort if you're willing to put that little bit of effort into it. And I agree with people. It is kind of a crappy kit, especially the price that Revell's asking for it. But if you do it intelligently and buy it at like Hobby Lobby when they have their 40% off sale, you're not paying that $32 or $34 or whatever it was or is for that kit. You're getting it for about $20, and that makes it a little bit easier to swallow, if you will. But anyway, we're not talking about that kit really. We're talking about this Silverado, and I think it turned out really, really well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. If you have any questions or comments, please write those in the comments section below. Or if you prefer, you can drop me a line at scaleautoguy@gmail.com. I'll be happy to respond to you as soon as possible. Be sure to follow me on Facebook for daily updates on upcoming videos and other topics. And if you want more videos like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for watching Scale Auto Guy's Workbench, and I'll see you on the next build.